All right, everybody, welcome back. We're going to be, I believe, getting into the knife here. As of course we are on our second map of the lower bracket semi-final, ProjectX versus eDen eSports. eDen, of course, took the first map, which was Cobblestone. So we'll see ProjectX on their own pick this time round. We shall see what they have got in store.
Dom clearly forgetting to buy armor there, so he's having a bit of a snooze in spawn, while the rest of his team takes on the knifing duties.
Yeah, not too much to really talk about in a knife. It just sort of goes the way that it does. Samuel trying to outplay Ruler there, but unfortunately gets taken down. They're all right-click though, so definitely a chance for a 1 versus 3 knife coming in for Dom here. He's just
go on, Dom. Oh, don't you just hate it when someone runs away in the knife round?
He's playing the strats though. I think he was trying to wait for people to come down the ladder, and he was going to try and get them, but they're playing it quite smart here.
Oh, twirling, constantly twirling.
Oh god, he's just messing about here. Like, just get it over and done with. Like, try and 1 versus 3 or just die at the end of the day.
This is intense.
I think though it's quite key though, to be fair, for ProjectX. They really want a good start on this, and there you go. Just simply outnumbered and outmaneuvered, and he will get taken down. So what could have been a very quick knife ends up lasting longer than it should have done. A bit anticlimactic in the end there. But gives us a bit of an opportunity to talk about overpasses the map. I mean, how would you say this one's going to go? It's classically, I'd say, CT-sided, but...
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. ProjectX will choose CT side here. And they have. Look, it's an AWP's map, it can be. And I think Ruler was starting to find some form towards the end of Cobble there with the AWP. And if he can carry that over, aggressing into connector, peeking mid, peeking down monster early rounds, he can be really frustrating to deal with for eDen. So he's going to have a big part to play here.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a good map as well, in terms of he could get a pick on one part of the map and then very easily move to a different part, you know, in a short amount of time. It looks like most of the T-side players are going to be going towards A here. There were 3 pushed up towards middle, but as soon as Sean gets Goosh down to 18 HP, he's just going to run away. So 3 going up long here, and now Roulette with it all to do. We talked about how effective he was on the last map, but he's only able to pick up 1 before getting traded. But it's quite obvious, I think, here that it is going to be a hit.
The CT rotations have come in fast enough, though, so they're all going to be here on site to greet the T's as they run up long A, but Thomas finds 1, Hals refrags him. Sean playing around that truck gets caught, but Hals finds another, and he manages to find Logsy as well. It leaves Samwell in a 1v2. He doesn't have the bomb. It's stuck at the front of default, and he's been spotted out by Deadbeat. And they should be able to figure out how to close this one up.
Yeah, 40 HP left, and there you go. Nice little angle from Deadbeat to win it out. So a huge round from Hals with that 3K is going to allow eDen eSports to take the first pistol of this map. So ProjectX not off to a strong start again. We'll see if they can answer back with this force buy. Can be a little bit difficult, I think, as a
I think, to be fair, ProjectX are off to a good start, because ProjectX are on CT side, despite what it says at the top of the screen.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Sort of
that's going to confuse the smaller ones.
Yeah, for sure. It's not swapped around there, so yeah, ProjectX actually off to a good start. Get themselves the first round on the board, of course, buying up these SMGs. 1 rifle in the hands of Hals. So what you would normally expect here from a second round after winning that first. So
it looks like they've cleared out connect control, and they push the CTs back onto site fairly early. They seem to have some sort of a read, because they have 4 players over towards B with seemingly no information to suggest that they're going there, and indeed they're not. They're creeping up toilets, and they're going to have to get a rotation in fairly quickly before the terrorists engulf the A bomb site here. But it looks like there's a slow enough pace to allow ProjectX time to react and get that additional player in. No utility left. eDen.
Yeah, the flash does come out, but unfortunately it doesn't really do much. However, Logsy getting aggressive with that deagle will take down Sean and get his hand on an MP9, gets him into an advanced position as well to pick up a second. So 5 versus 3. Of course, the weaponry is a lot stronger here for the side of ProjectX, but eDen only losing 1 so far. Definitely got a good chance to get back into this. It's so far quite a good retake to make it a 3 versus 3, though. Hal's left with 15 and a nice positional kill. Oh, and Samuel, I thought he got both of those then. He only picked up 1, of course got 1 a little bit earlier, and Dom will chime in for the last one. So eDen get themselves back on the board, and of course win out the fourth round, so not so good for ProjectX there.
Looks like ProjectX, much like Cobble, are expecting the T's to throw a bunch of utility or have some sort of lead up before they get into the bomb site, so they can counter that by throwing their Molotovs down, counter flash and getting those rotations in. eDen have just come in dry and caught them snoozing again.
Yeah, I mean, catching out Logsy as well, he was pretty much the only player over towards A. Sean tried to push back and you know, just wait for his teammates, but unfortunately not expecting that player to be so far up. I think it was Logsy
But
as well
Logsy plays on the
MP9.
other team, mate. Logsy plays for...
Yeah, but I mean, going into the A bomb site there, he got the MP9 and then pushed up aggressively and basically took control of the site for his team.
Yes.
And they just weren't able to answer back. They did get a few trade kills in, but just the numbers. There you go, Logsy, we talked about him. He does pick up 3, eventually runs out of ammo, almost gets a 4th. Thomas will pick up lols, and now Roulette with 4 HP remaining. Going to look to maybe keep a hold of the UMP. I doubt it, though, with the amount of HP he's got left.
Well, money on Ruler is important. He's the AWPer, as I've said already. So $600 can often be the difference between a glass cannon and having that armor. Nothing doing, though, as Dom takes his head off with the AK. And I think ProjectX will probably opt for another eco here so they can get a big juicy buy on that 4th round with AWPs and utility and all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, maybe some upgraded pistols, which is what we are going to see from a couple of players here. Ruler keeping his hands, you know, pretty much empty. He does pick up a flashbang, so possibly looking to make some plays, and they are. All 5 players pushing up. A few on long, 1 towards middle, so possibly going to run into a stack here. Thomas does pick up 2 before going down, but I think just purely outnumbered here. Almost a huge chance for Hals. He gets 2, but of course, just purely outgunned, I think, in that situation. Maybe if they'd have got some armor or some MP9s. I mean, it's the benefit of hindsight, honestly, but...
But if you offered ProjectX 3 frags at the start of that round, they would have taken it with both hands, so they'll be happy with that. Here's the AWP on Ruler now. No utility to go with it, but this, I reckon, is the deciding factor. So let's see where he takes it first off. I know he plays on A more often than not. It doesn't look like he's going to get engaged here. It looks like they're going a fast B, or seeing people towards B early here are eDen. It depends whether or not they can get this read that they're outside monster. I mean, there's not much presence anywhere else on the map. It's really on Sean and whether he can find out what Pommy's up to in connector, and whether they can get those extra resources over to B as a result. Pommy only has the MP9, but he still manages to out. And that's the trigger. That's the trigger.
Yeah, I was going to say that will give the cue for the remaining players to walk over, run over, I suppose, into that site. But Lols somehow, with the rest of his teammates, will manage to make it a 2 versus 2 situation. Ruler, I think, took down Pommy over towards that connector area, so he's not going to do much damage from there. And now Ruler as well gets that onto Dom, so a 2 versus 1 situation for Logsy. And I'm playing this well, wrapping back towards short. I'd imagine because he's doing this, it is planted for him. No one on the bomb as of yet. They've Molotov'd him out, not completely. He's still able to peek the bomb. Smoke does go down. He picks up 1, but there you go. Ruler to make it 3 for the round will win out for ProjectX to get their 2nd on the round.
I'm surprised that they managed to pull off that retake. That was a crucial frag from Pommy into Sean onto connector. Of course, by Pommy being alive in connector, he knows that any rotators are going to come in via Heaven and via CT, and not via short B and connector. So they had all of the information and all of the tools to win that round, eDen, but they don't get it done.
Yeah, unfortunate for them, but they still have money to buy up into this round, of course, after winning those 2 in a row, after losing the sort of force buy to ProjectX in the 2nd round. They've sort of bounced back a little bit, to say the least, and of course, the money for ProjectX was not so strong, so despite winning that round, they've still got a player on a FAMAS and a player on an MP9, so it's not the best buy, but it could be worse for sure. No utility left as well. On the edge of this smoke, Deadbeat picks up 3, seeing the silhouettes, I think, as it began to fade. The MP9 as well for Lols paying dividends, so $600 in the bank for him, and now a 1 versus 4 all of a sudden with 1 minute, 5 seconds or thereabouts remaining on the clock for Logsy. He does have the bomb in his hand, so that's an advantage, and he's already got a kill, so he's definitely you know, open to get some more possibly. And there's only, I believe, there's only one player over towards A, but there you go. It seems Sean has heard me. He's going to rotate back towards to help his teammate out.
They had this pretty much exact same scenario here with Logsy, the last man alive with the bomb, and they gave up a bomb plant on Cobble unnecessarily on the first map, if you remember. Logsy, so exactly the same. Same personnel, same situation. Let's see if they make the same mistake. They've got 2 people to deal with him on A. I don't think it's going to happen this time as Logsy creeps his way up short A. He's managed to get himself tucked into this right flower bed. Is Sean going to get Ryan there? He doesn't. Ryan picks him off from Truck, and that's the round done. It's 3 apiece.
Yeah, it was well played there. You know, they definitely learned from their mistakes from the previous map. I'm not going to allow him any ins, you know, because it's just the little things in CSGO that allow you to get those rounds on the board. It would have been an extra $800, and possibly, you know, Samwell here is on a CZ. He might have been able to pick up an AK, you know, which could be a deciding factor coming into this next round. So it's just playing it smart, playing it safe, making sure they can't get the bomb down. That's going to allow them, well, allow ProjectX to have an easier time of it going into this next round.
It looks like eDen are definitely favouring the B site here, opting to completely forego any action on Party and Balloons, and instead just controlling Connector and short B. And they went for a boost there on the railings at short B and didn't get a frag, but it looks like they're starting to move players back through towards Connector and back towards A. They're trying to re-establish some presence on that side of the map, restrict some information off ProjectX, who are set up halfway up the short toilets and peeking down top of Connector. They're leaving long clear. This is a bit of a genius call here from, I think Thomas might be IGLing for this team, so if he's made this call, this is a good read. But it looks like Ruler is going to check long A, quite inopportune time for eDen.
Smoke,
he's identified that there's a player there, and a rotation will probably come in, but the bomb is still over towards short B, so probably a bit of confusion here for ProjectX as they struggle to figure out what's going on. Thomas opens up the round, gets deadbeat on B, and at the same time Logsy is making his way over to A side. ProjectX probably had no idea what's going on.
Yeah, there's players all over the map at the moment, but meanwhile on the B side, Hals is actually going to pick up 2. Shornsky will make sure that Pommy can do nothing into this round, so now it's going to be Dom all by himself. There are 3 players here over towards Graffiti, so he definitely has a chance to pick up a couple kills, but it does depend if the CTs can pull out some good trade frags. Dom's got himself in a pretty good position there, but as I said, Sean able to trade pretty easily into that one. So the bomb did get planted for eDen, but it's going to be ProjectX with another round on the board. And I believe that will be eDen on an eco or a force buy if they decide to opt into it. Maybe a bit of a quasi buy going into this, some upgraded pistols and a bit of armor.
There seems to definitely be a trend here where ProjectX are finding themselves with very little information, but still win the round anyway, making me look like a bit of an idiot. So hopefully they stop doing that.
I think they're just a little bit more confident coming into this map. They, you know, we sort of talked about in the break that on Cobblestone they just played a little bit scared to begin with, and then when they finally got their confidence back, it was a little too late. But Sean, with a quick couple kills there, might go down here. In fact, he does get tagged up pretty heavily and will go down. So that's going to be an AWP in the hands of Logsy now, so he might be able to do a bit of damage with this. Creeping around this corner, but he sees the shadow, does Sean. Not the second one, though. So another kill going the way of eDen. Thomas now got the AWP in his hands, so we'll see what he can do with it. Maybe getting a bit over-aggressive here. Lols does peek out rather wide, gets taken down. 2 versus 1 now. They do both have kits, and they're aware of the fact that Thomas has got the bomb. He's looking to make it the ace to win this one out.
He's moving the bomb over towards long A. Deadbeat is in a pretty good position to deal with this. It depends whether Thomas looks hard right as he comes out long A. He's pulled the CZ out in favour of the AWP, and this should be an easy clean-up for Deadbeat. He spots him out and manages to complete the spray to kill Thomas.
2 HP though, I mean, Thomas hit the bullet there, so who's to say if he had the AWP out, he might have done the same.
Sure, I mean, look, the real unsung hero of that round was Shornsky at mid. Ruler was in no man's land. I think he messed up the jump onto the bench to try to peek mid. The T's decided to go fast mid. Sean, I think, might have, when flashed, managed to get 2 kills, meaning that Ruler stayed alive, got the 3rd kill, and then Sean got an important third kill of his own later in the round. So Sean really saved that round. from going south quickly for Project X.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've seen him come alive on this map. He was a bit quiet on cobblestone, so it's good to see him bounce back well. Deadbeat there. I'm not sure if he was fully flashed, but either way, he picks up the kill onto Pommy. So once again, another good opening frag from Project X. Going to put eDen on the back foot. See if they can frag back. Sean might maybe get AWP'd here if he gets a bit too aggressive, but he's just going to play it passively on top of this bin. The Molotov not going to quite reach him either. This is quite a good spot, a bit of an off angle, possibly a one and done spot though if he gets noticed. The Molotov though is pretty good from Thomas, and there you go, Dom, pretty easy kill for him. So 4 versus 4 situation now. Looking to make their way back towards A. I'm not quite sure. They're trying to get some pressure on long with that bomb as well to make it a bit more of an A split. There are 2 CT side players over here. The AWP in the hands of Ruler as well is going to be a hard obstacle to overcome. Truck. Deadbeat waiting. It is going to be Hals though with the 2K on long. Deadbeat as well chimes in with one of his own. So now Logsy yet again in a 1 versus 4.
Is Logsy baiting them? Is Logsy baiting the team? He seems to be always the last man left. Look, Hals was fantastic. Scotland's finest, holding from behind default, paying attention to long A. A lot of teams on CT side will make the mistake of taking their eyes off long A, and looked like eDen were trying to exploit that the last couple of rounds by walking up long A. Deadbeat closing out the round there with a frag on to Logsy. But not so for Project X. Hals was wise to what was going on, manages to get that quick 2K, and it looks like a pause has come in. Not sure whether this is tactical, technical. I'm not sure what eDen could do with a tactical pause. They are a mixed team. Maybe they could get YouTube up, go to Hatton Games, Google some executes.
Maybe. Or maybe they're just asking, so what smokes do we all know for this map? What can we work out, maybe? But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I would imagine it's probably a tactical pause from them to try and figure something out. And, you know, they have shown previously on Cobblestone that they're definitely a formidable side. They're not a complete mess just because they're a mix. I think it's just the fact that Project X have got the upper hand on this map. But just to comment, you mentioned the way that they'd been holding the site, the A site particularly, quite effectively. I think it's more of a passive kind of setup. Some teams get very aggressive and play people in bathrooms and hold long that way, but they're just hoping, you know, that they can read the round correctly and rotate players quickly enough to just overwhelm the T's coming into the site.
Well, it's been successful so far. They've had the right people on the right sites at the right time. eDen don't really have any set executes to break the crossfires and the bait and switch setups that Project X are running on the A site. And without those executes, there's no reason for Project X to change what they're doing. They've got the utility to counter anything any simple stuff that comes in. They've got the discipline. They seem to have got their setups well drilled. I can't see how eDen are going to break their way into this unless they manage to maybe contact an AWP in and not give the CTs a chance to sort of run their reactive style stuff. But I'm not sure where that's going to come from, and I don't think forcing is the way to do that either. They did pick up a couple of rounds on Cobble just by going into a site dry and fast and catching Project X completely sort of off guard and out in the open. But I can't see that happening here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the AWP though is definitely a key place to kind of or a key issue to touch on. You know, it's something that I think is what is allowing Project X, especially starting on the CT side, to pick up these rounds. Is just the fact that even if Ruler isn't getting the kills, it's just the sort of the threat. Yeah, exactly. The threat of him being there that's possibly making even eSports second guess themselves going into certain bomb sites. So always trying to be aware.
So we're back underway. Looks like they're going nothing really different from what they've been doing earlier in the half, trying to ignore that A mid presence, take short control early in the round, hold control outside of Monster. They don't have the utility to play a very long round, so something's going to have to come in soon. Deadbeat pops his head through the smoke, no trigger flash or anything, trades 1 for 1, and has he given up a weapon to play with? They haven't picked it up yet. There's an M4 waiting for them near sandbags. But
Sean, though, on the flank, could definitely do something huge in the next few seconds, but maybe have to, as Hals is going to get himself a quick 3k. Thomas did get his hands on that M4, so likes to trade him back, but the damage is done as Lols will clean up and finish out the round. So ProjectX, after quite a long pause, I'm not sure whether it was tactical or technical in the end, but either way, it's not done eDen any favours at all.
well, I hope it wasn't tactical, because I haven't really done anything different on that round. House is being super effective holding. He's done it both on A and B side now with that that M4 just multi-fragging multiple times and really being a rock wherever he's holding and being super reliable. And they're off towards B again. Have they forgotten that A exists at the early part of the round? They've made their way to A a couple of times late round, but it looks like their defaults are pretty consistent, and Sean is abusing this fact. He's pushing through towards T-Spawn, and he's going to have all of the information for ProjectX. And this is going to be such hard work for eDen eSports from this position, as long as Sean doesn't die too early.
Yeah, I mean, that kill as well going the way of ProjectX early on, and a lot of damage done onto Dom.
Oh, Sean, discipline.
He's only spotting one out, though, so he's not going to wait too long, just in case the player does turn around.
Looks like one slipped through the defences up short A. I wonder if they've caught on to this being a possibility, because I'm not sure who this is. The numbering on the minimap is too small for my old man eyes. But I
believe it's
I wonder if they're aware of the possibility of Dom being there. They
bomb side
switched on.
over rotates, and there you go. Logsy managing to push his way down through Bank will pick up one, and now the pressure of his position is huge. Goes before the flashbang though, and Lols is savvy to it, so he's going to pick up that kill, make sure he can't do any more damage. Dom's going to try and do the same thing, and he will take the scalp off of Lols. So now a 2 versus 3 situation, but the T's here are in some really advantageous positions. The fact that they're able to get onto this A-bomb site for free, Tommy just pick up one, but not expecting the other one to be there. And Dom, huge round so far, looking to get the final kill, and it will be onto Roulette. He's got the AWP in his hand, so of course not a huge factor, but the Molotov goes down, the defuse is coming in.
He can't go through at 17 HP.
Yeah, the bomb gets defused, so a little bit anticlimactic at the end of that one there, but Ruler just cleverly using his utility to win that one out in the end.
It got closer than it needed to be, because they found the hole that they left at the top of Connector to sneak through and put some pressure onto A. But the damage was really done by the fact that they're never showing any presence towards mid at the start of the round. They've identified that. Sean pushed through, got all of the information for his team, and it was just an easy game from there, really.
I think it's just a case of like both teams are trading very well. It's just the fact that ProjectX are getting that opening pick, so obviously they have the man advantage and very effectively capitalizing on that. We almost saw a huge round from Dom there, but just very well played.
Long A rush coming in.
Ooh,
almost gets a multi-frag, almost gets the collat, but he spots where all of the terrorists are. And of course there's no presence shown towards B, so the rotation will come in early. They've got 4 players on A, and eDen eSports have no presence over towards the B side of the map. And they're going to have to spend some time to regain that map control, otherwise they're going to walk into a blender again. That is, unless Shawnski overpeaks from behind default. He doesn't get punished for it though. Limited utility that eDen have used to try and break some of these crossfires on A site. Not too successful. What's Logsy doing there?
We're in an advanced position, a corner that is often overlooked, to be fair, but the rest of the team are chiming in with kills of their own. Sean will get 2 to end out. So ProjectX really running away with this half so far, 9-3 to them. And eDen eSports got a few rounds early on in the half that have just not been able to answer back against, you know, the coordinated, the tactical aggression that ProjectX seem to be pulling out and reading into how eDen eSports are playing.
I sound like a broken record, but there needs to be more presence across the entire map from eDen eSports if they're going to restrict that information from ProjectX. Otherwise, it's just going to be so easy to get the multiple players on the site that they're hitting, and then with no set executes planned from a mixed team, how are they ever going to mix beat the crossfires that they can set up when they have, you know, 3 or even 4 people holding a site? It just can't be done. So unless they change something here fast, they're not going to get many more rounds this half.
Yeah, their play style so far just not really working out. It definitely did on Cobblestone, but you know, like we said, ProjectX are prepared for this map. Although they did a lot of preparation on Cobblestone, I think it seems Overpass is just naturally a bit easier for them. Anyway, aggressive pushes towards middle, towards A. Sean, though, is going to put a stop to that pretty early on as he picks up 2 easy frags, completely unpunished. Only taking 20 damage for his trouble. Hals as well will get 1 left on 5 HP. But the rest of the CTs are pretty much up here, almost to 2k. I think it was a team kill, actually, from Ruler there with the AWP. I thought it was Logsy who got that kill, but he doesn't, and Deadbeat will finish it out there. So 1 HP left on Ruler as well, so that could have been a mess quite easily, but they were quite lucky in that situation just to be against pistols.
Still, they managed to get the extra players over towards the site they were hitting. Is happening time and time again. It was an eco though, so they didn't really have that much to work with. They finally got the AWP. I think is this the first time this half they've managed to buy an AWP of their own. They've been force buying way too much. And it looks like they're actually showing a bit more of map control across the map, so this is a much better start. But that's so unlucky for Thomas. Just donates the AWP to Deadbeat, who peeks over the Molotov, using that sort of one-way vision property of that Molotov to find Thomas and rip his head off.
Yeah, that'll be the fact that Thomas as well only had chest armor. So
well spotted.
Yeah, it was quite an easy frag for Deadbeat to pick up, to be fair. I think he might have got it as well, because it looks like Thomas, you know, like you say, through the Molotov, whiffed his shot. But completely
Did he even
unpunished.
shoot? Did you even see him? I'm not sure.
I mean, it would be nice to know. I think so. I think so. If he's holding that monster position, he'd at least... I think you can definitely see through...
It depends on your shader settings.
Yeah, true, actually. True. I would hope that they've got, you know, the optimal ones. But anyway, Logsy will try and back in. Ruler, though, does get one, but unfortunately Deadbeat with an early frag. Can't get that one on Samwell, so he gets the difficult shot, but there's barely any damage onto Samwell in quite an easy situation. So 3 versus 3 now, and Pommy has actually got control of this A bomb site, doesn't really realise it. There's a player over towards middle, however, who's going to come down connector, possibly catch these teams off guard.
Dom's doing the right thing here, making noise, creating an opportunity for Pommy to flank down through CT complex and shoot lols in the back of the head if they can get the timing right. And here he comes, 1, 2, 3. Pommy cleans up Hals and lols, and that was a well-constructed round from eDen there.
Yeah, so
look, they showed more presence across the map.
Yeah.
ProjectX weren't able to get the multiple people on sites in their crossfires, and look at that. I should be an IGL era.
It would seem that, you know, once they apply themselves and maybe stop just going in so aggressively, that they're able to string together a good round and play it smart.
And they're not reverting back into old habits. They're spreading themselves out a little bit here. They've got presence in connector, presence in mid. Ruler, though, I did speak about him doing that at the start of the round. Removes 1 from the map early, gets an early 5v4. Utility still in hand, and they fall back into a more passive setup. They haven't fallen all the way back to the side of A. It looks like they're still holding it short A. Short A and front of the side. Samwell punishes Lol's boosting. I hope the camera caught that, because I think that was quite a nice shot. He tries to spray down the booster after taking the head off the boostee, and ProjectX go into a boost of their own at the sign on A site. It's even at 4 players apiece, but eDen have a little bit more map control than they have other 4-all situations previously this game. So let's see if they can actually convert this by abusing this 2-2 setup. But Ruler is there looking over the entire of short A from this side. Manages to get the first frag and escapes.
Yeah, I don't think they were really expecting him to be there. A little bit of a, not an unknown boost, but not as common really. Hals gets one over towards B. Deadbeat shooting maybe a little bit too early there, but he does plenty of damage to be able to finish off that kill. So now Thomas, left all by himself, will take down Deadbeat, but he's got a cross, and there you go. Ruler, ever reliable with that AWP, will pick him off. So 11-4 for ProjectX, a great bounce back from them after the very... It was, I mean, the scoreline, it was 16-10, but overall, I think a very one-sided showing from eDen on Cobblestone. But so far now, we are seeing, you know, the complete opposite of that for ProjectX. Yeah,
this has been equal parts impressive from ProjectX and equal parts disappointing from eDen. They're a mixed team. They're not going to be able to break crossfires, and I don't think they're going about it the right way. But let's see if they can have some more luck on their CT side.
Yeah. Playing 2 over towards A, 1 over towards connector, I believe. No, it is 3 over towards A. 1 remaining back on the site there. Thomas had actually pushed all the way up. No one was playing there. Does get 1. Samuel as well chimes in with one, but Thomas pretty much immediately goes down. So brings it into a 4 versus 3, and the remaining T's are going to, well, they don't really know where they're going. They were going to go down Connector, now they're just going to go back, I would imagine, towards Monster with this bomb. Just try and take a bit more of a safe route.
Back around the long way. It depends whether or not the CTs get any audio cues on this and how fast they go. It looks like they've reduced themselves to a walk. If they go out Monster and they time this right, oh no, it looks like they're going to get spotted by Pommy, who manages to get Howell's head. He gets free fragged though, but the CTs know what's up and the rotations come in. They start to fall back to use the range advantage from their USPs. Shauncey's got one of his own though. Can he put that to good effect? Not yet. Logsy attempting the retake. They do get the bomb down. Logsy rips 2 heads off, the heads of Sean and Ruler. It's been quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing very well, to be fair. This game, a little bit more difficult for him to get an in for his team. Say that eDen eSports will get 5th on the board in a pistol round, so possibly a chance for them to get back into it. The bomb was planted, so we would expect ProjectX to eco this one out, and then, you know, get that gun round a round early, if they so choose. But I mean, there was a lot of damage done there onto the CTs. I believe there was Samuel on 5 HP and Pommy on 17.
Yeah, there was definitely an opportunity there, but some very crisp headshots. Young Logsy has done the job. And it looks like there is carnage in Hector as Thomas gets 3 kills with the USP, and Pommy and Samuel quickly get number 4 and number 5. $600 a pop. What's 5 times 600?
3,000.
Yeah, that's how much money they just got.
Yeah. Quick
Pass the maths test there.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's valuable information to have. But yeah, I think they just sort of wanted to get rid of that round, get it out of the way, so they can get these AKs out. Not really expecting too much to come from that round. But this, of course, is the important one. It's going to put eDen eSports on the back foot if they lose it. And of course, they've still got this MP9 and 2 UMPs. An AWP in the hands of Thomaso, interestingly. An aggressive long push coming out, but wowee. Gets shut down very quickly. 3 kills go in the way of ProjectX. Really not looking good here. It is the more well-bought players remaining on the CT side, but you wouldn't really fancy them in this 5 versus 2 situation. They're probably looking to save. Well,
this is the 3rd round by here. No, yeah, it was because they got the bomb plant. Yeah. So this is awkward because it's a very long save for Thomas and Dom to keep hold of their AWP and their M4, which they're going to need if they're going to have any impact into the next round. And they don't really want to give away too many ecos either because they're so far behind in the game. So it really is all on Thomas and Dom to be able to save this, and I expect ProjectX will identify that that's what's happening, and they'll probably start hunting pretty early on. You can already see players are starting to drift away from the bomb site. Not really chasing in earnest there. Maybe they're not even going to chase it at all. They should, because it would be 13-6 for them if they manage to get this and force them to eco effectively.
Yeah, I mean, especially we see time and time again. Maybe they don't know, to be fair, I don't think Thomas shot the AWP at all, so
true,
they
maybe
won't
they
be
don't
aware
know
of the
that's
fact
there.
that he's got one.
Maybe they don't know that's there. Looks like they're not really chasing with any gusto, making sure that they build up their own economy, have a bit of an insurance policy of their own if they were to get overturned on this next round. Oh, the CTs have more money than I thought.
Maybe the Logsy, I think, got a lot. No, it's Thomas.
They got the SMG kills.
Yeah,
there,
I suppose so. I don't remember Logsy
bit.
getting like huge.
They've been investing wisely, I think.
Yeah.
Investing in bitcoins.
Yeah, indeed. It's paid back dividends by the looks of it. So they are actually able to buy up into this. It's just one of those things sometimes a little bit difficult to keep track of the economy. You know, I mean, Logsy could have easily just been dropped by other players who earned a lot more, and he's in this round able to drop his teammates. But definitely the fact that Thomas and Dom able to keep hold of the rifles in that round were huge. Pommy opening up as well is going to look good, and I believe there are 4 CTs over towards the B bomb site in different positions, so there's a lot for the T's to get past here. The bomb being planted, but unfortunately gets denied by Dom, and he just jumped straight over the top there to get himself a second onto Hals on 1 HP. Doesn't seem to care, and there you go. eDen will answer back very, very loudly.
A little bit of an unusual round there. They didn't use the full minute and 55 seconds allocated to them. They went straight into taking short B control of Monster and pulled the smokes out, smoking off center of sight in heaven, and just got on with it early on, trying to get try to catch eDen off guard. Didn't work though.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe like us, they thought that they'd be on a bit more of a shoddy buy. And it was well read as well by ProjectX to play for over towards that B-bomb site. I think there was 3 on the site, 1 towards heaven early on. So a good read from them. Seems they're doing a little bit of a similar setup here. Perhaps done their homework. ProjectX like this B-bomb site, would you think?
Well, no, they're pretty comprehensive, ProjectX. They've got things prepared on both. I think they'll try to, rather than just try to... I don't think Deadbeat will be calling out Spawn, Deadbeat being their IGL, which bomb site to go to. He'll be giving a sort of structure for the round, say take control of this, take control of that, and trying to sort of establish mid-round and make calls mid-round as to where they should finish the round and how they should do that with the utility that they have available. In this case, they've got control of outside Monster, they've got control of toilets, and they've got control halfway up long, so you can probably expect an A finish to come in. And there goes Deadbeat to try pull some rotations over towards B, but it hasn't worked. There's still 3 CTs over towards A, or is that one up at heaven? The minimap's really hard.
Yeah, it is a little bit hard to spot from, but Dom going to trade back Deadbeat. So
oh, he's pulled the rotations.
Oh, it is good though. It is well played from him. The lurk actually paying off on this map. You know, he commented a lot about how he was very ineffective on cobblestone, but he's doing huge things here for ProjectX. Hals as well, going to get himself 2 kills quickly off the back of that. Oh, everyone though is 1 bullet at this point, so Dom definitely got a chance to get back into this one. The bomb will finally go down. He's got himself a Molotov and a nade, so definitely a chance. There's a player coming up behind him here. Timing on this could be huge. Not sure if Dom's going to be aware of the fact that someone has pushed all the way down long to pick him up. So there you go. Rullet really needs to get this kill though. There you go. 1 HP on him, so he could not allow for any mistakes. So ProjectX going to get themselves 13 on the board. And, well, now the economy not looking so good. Looks like they are going to buy straight back up into this one, though. Dom immediately forces out that M4. Samuel, the only one that's got any money to sort of write home about. The P90 coming out, though, for Logsy. I know how much you
That's
like
P90
that.
count 2 for this series. I'll be keeping track. And I think Logsy is well suited to a P90. Doesn't require too much aim.
Whoa.
No, don't read too much into that.
Whoa.
Don't read too much into that.
Well, it's good for Connector, though, especially the position that he's playing a little bit more passive. The players, you kind of have to wide peek that area. You can't really shoulder peek into it and try and get like 1 taps. Obviously, it's a very close range.
Good for a multi-frag there if they come Connector, which they're not. They're spreading their resources across the map of ProjectX, trying to take control of long A early, trying to abuse what I talked about earlier, which was that a lot of teams leave long A completely unattended at the start of the round, and if you can cross playground to long A undetected, you can really get into some awkward situations. But it looks like they're opting to move back through short toilets, and they might cut eDen in half here. They might cut in between their connector player and the site player and be able to explode onto A side if they manage to time this well, and if Deadbeat doesn't manage to give up the information as the lurker over towards B. They have to time this right, they have to go now, and that's what they're doing. They're using the Molotov to clear out some positions behind the site. Hals gets the entry frag. Meanwhile, Ryan takes one down with the AWP, and they've got the A site here, and they're getting the plant down. Default. Hals is absolutely popping off this game. He's just removed another head, the head of Thomas, and it is retake time, 2v3. Dom tries to start it early before his teammates are ready, and he dies, and then Pommy is all alone at long A, not able to do much.
Hals with a 4K there. I think it was really important there that Ruler was sort of like lagging behind a little bit. I don't know if he was purposefully watching behind. I think he was just sort of holding back a little bit, and he spotted out the flank that was coming in from those 2 players.
Sure.
So they were aware of it, because it could have definitely caught them off guard. You know, when there's so much going on, even the steps of enemies can sometimes be confused with your teammates when you think that the area is safe. So it could have been a huge play, but here we are going to see some mid-aggression from these pistols. 1 kill going the way of Pommy, but Lols is going to answer back and pick up both those players, and not too much damage done onto him. So to lose 1 is not too bad. He's going to try and make sure that no one's going to pick up that.
It looks like they've identified that the B site is free, and they are accepting that gift, and they've run the bomb on, and now it is on eDen to either choose to try retake 3v5 without any bells and whistles, without any guns, or they are going to give up match point. Looks like they're going to try this retake, or at least try pinch a gun to play with. Dom gets one early, reducing it to a 3v3. Logsy looking down from heaven with Eagle. Gets his duel there against that water spot under heaven, and there's one in cubby. Duel against Thomas, and then Logsy. And that's the round. That easy.
Yeah.
I think perhaps Pommy got a little bit greedy. I think it was Pommy and Dom at mid. They pushed one. They could have just pinched his gun and run away. They tried to bite off more than they could chew there, and Sean managed to snap them both off. They identified they were pushing mid, and they decided to run into B, which was unguarded.
Yeah, I mean, Hal's here, it's worth pointing out. Hal's, I believe, 27 to 15. Lol's on 9 kills. Didn't quite see his deaths, so definitely a bit of a carry fest, at least from Lol's perspective for the rest of his team. So many flashbangs, though. Sean is so very blind, but Hal's has pushed so far forward and will pick up 2.
He really wants to get to 30 here. He needs one more, doesn't he?
Yeah, I believe so.
He
There's
needs
only
this
one
last
player
frag,
left.
otherwise he's going to get left on 29. He's going to tell his teammates, stop, let me get the last one.
The highlight reel is
I
more
need the
important.
stats.
Spotted him out at least, but Deadbeat's not going to allow Hals to get